non-upholding of the human rights provision on those trade agreements. There's already a threat also from the European Union that they will suspend our GSP, or General System of Preference, or duty-free exports to the European Union, which can adversely affect our export sector. Haven't been growing for the last 6 years. And just last night, Secretary Wanda Teo just confirmed, no? And this was also confirmed by our friends from the OFW from the other countries, that there is now an impact on our tourism sector. Remember, the new backbone of the Philippine economy is the tourism sector. It can be the #1 contributor of the country's growth by 2030. That's the target of NEDA. So if you have a flourishing tourism sector that can have another economic impact to our Filipinos or fellow Filipinos who are now attached to the tourism sector for their economic viability. So kagabi, maraming mga OFW po ang nagpasabi sa atin na marami na pong mga kaibigan nating mga taga-ibang bansa ang nagkakansila ng kanilang pagbabakasyon o pagmamasyal dito sa Pilipinas dahil nga dun sa video na ipinalabas ni VP Leni Robredo na baka daw totoong may patayan dito, na merong mga paglabag ng karapatan pantao. Kaya po, ngayong araw, banggit ko nga after I've called for the impeachment of Vice President Leni Robredo, immediately some volunteer lawyers and private individuals volunteered themselves, no, to lead the impeachment complaint. And we have enough time to file the impeachment because Congress right now is in recess. Congress will resume their session on May, which gives us enough time for what we call the case build-up. Malinaw na po yung pundasyon ng impeachment complaint. Gagawin lang po nilang airtight, and most probably, if there will be other people who can bring in additional impeachable offenses made by the Vice President, they're more than welcome, no? Para pampadagdag. Pero vis-a-vis the issue of betrayal of public trust, malinaw na malinaw po. Tandaan po natin, trust is a feeling. It can be measured by feelings. I was mentioning a while ago off-cam that even before that video that was presented by the Vice President in Austria, I still had that trust with the Vice President. And nowhere in all my speeches, nowhere in all my engagements, despite the fact that she has already attacked also the 700,000 surrenderies at that time, that it was never an achievement by the Duterte administration right in the face of the DILG, we still maintain respect to the Vice President because we have trust, even that little. But after, I never even called her names. I called her VP Leni Robredo all the way. But after I saw that video, for the first time, or one of the few times, it really hit my emotions. That's why never have I called her lugaw. Pwede ko na siyang tawagin lugaw. Kasi ako yung naging emosyonal na sa kanyang ginawa. So, hindi na po tayo magpapatagal. Tatawagin ko po si Attorney Dixie Angeles para po ipakilala yung grupo na magpapanimula ng impeachment complaint sa ating pangalawang Pangulo. Attorney Angeles.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Magpapasalamat kami na lahat po kayo nandito ngayon, tumalo. Ganito po yung programa natin. Magbabasa po ng statement si Attorney Rivera. He is going to be our spokesman. After that, we will distribute the copies of the statement and we will take questions. At the table today are, padating pa lang si Attorney Ahmed. At the table today, Professor Don Contreras, myself, Attorney Rivera, and Attorney Tom Berenguer. Still to arrive is Attorney Ahmed Pagdinawan. Please welcome Attorney Bruce Rivera.
Magandang magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Wala pa yung audio. Wait.
Isuyo po sa audio.
Sudo po. Okay. We prepared this statement as a precursor to everything. Ito po yung paunang statement namin, of course, being the spokesperson of the group. we would give you the complete statement later on, and we will be happy to answer questions. Okay, this is the official statement of the group of lawyers who will be starting the impeachment complaint against Leni Robredo. I reserve the vice president title at this point. Here is a statement, ladies and gentlemen. Leni Robredo has gone too far. The means in which she has conducted herself since assuming office has been inimical to public interest, ruinous and prejudicial to the economy, erodes confidence in the legal system and government, and places the honor and dignity of the Filipinos to naught. We have long watched her. We have done our duty calling her out on social media despite concerted efforts to silence us. Yet, it appears that not only is she has continued unabated in her actions detrimental to the Filipino people, but she seems to be stepping up her ante, using her position as vice president to peddle lies and distortions of reality. And despite public outcry, Leni Robredo remains persistent, unrepentant, and diabolical. Leni Robredo has gone too far. And we demand accountability. She needs to answer us right now. Because it is clear that in her determination to further her political stature, she is willing to bring the Filipino nation to perdition, even at the cost of Filipino integrity and self-determination. So we have decided to file her impeachment. She can no longer be allowed to continue in this manner. Not anymore, not at our expense. But we do not intend to do this alone. We have and are continuing to call additional lawyers and volunteers on our ongoing case build-up. We need your help because the fate of the nation lies not just in all our shoulders. It lies in the heart and soul of every Filipino. We need your help because we want to give Leni Robredo what she failed to give us. The truth. The unabated truth. Frankly, the outpouring of support since we began talking about impeachment has been overwhelming and deafening. We hear the complaints, the outcry, and yes, the anger of our countrymen. And we cannot continue to ignore them anymore. We are doing this not just for them, but with them. Because that is the least we can do as Filipinos. It is our civic and moral duty because Leni Robredo has gone too far. That is the official statement, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready to answer questions from all of you guys.
Meron pong pronouncement kanina umaga si Presidente Duterte na tigilan na raw ang impeachment complaint against VP Robredo. What is your opinion or comment?
It's not an issue because first of all, we understand the President's predicament because he wants the best for the Filipinos and perhaps he may want to stay away from this trouble, but we're not doing this for the President, we're doing this for the Filipino people. And in as much as, of course, we expect our President to be a statesman and not encourage disunity perhaps, but from our end, we the Filipinos, we see the need to do this. And we're doing this not for the President, but we're doing this for our country.
Itutuloy pa rin po ninyo considering na meron siyang pronouncement about it.
Yes, of course, we're not the President's minions.
Attorney, kindly explain I'm Sandra from GMA 7. Kindly explain the mode of the impeachment process that you're going to pursue.
Where there's only one mode of impeachment in the Constitution, and that impeachment is from Congress. Of course, we would have to, we would of course have to have case build up first. We have to draft the articles of impeachment. We would want somebody in Congress to sponsor or to sponsor the bill. it will go to Congress by commission and plenary. Then later on, if the proper votes are had, it will go to the Senate. The Senate court sitting as an impeachment court may impeach her or not. But at the end of the day, this is a political action, and we, as Filipinos, would be the ones starting it.
Attorney,
Yes.
Alan po from DCWB. Ano po yung mga, right now, kahit initial lang, anong mga grounds ang kasama dun sa mga ipapayag nyo na impeachment?
General grounds lang po kasi we don't want to preempt our case build-up. Of course, betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution, other high crimes. Possible grounds. Of course, we are not limiting ourselves to these grounds, but well, in the Constitution is very clear. These are the grounds in the Constitution, but we don't want to deal into the specifics unless we have finished the articles of impeachment.
Sir, in case build up, how long will this go on?
As soon as possible, because you
How
have to
soon
make
is
two.
it? How soon is it?
We cannot give you we don't want to preempt anything because number one, we don't want to give you a timeline, but definitely before Congress reissues the sessions.
Does this mean that it is build up of any case?
We have, but of course we want more. We don't want to make it just appear like it because it appears like it. We want the truth to be there. So that's the reason why we want time.
Sa ngayon po, ano yung pinakamalakas na kaso ninyo?
I cannot say that, sir.
What is the implication of your impeachment complaint to the impeachment complaint filed by Attorney Lozano?
I don't know what implication is. But he filed first. We might file second, but it doesn't necessarily mean that ours is lesser or defective or inferior. It's just that we filed second. It's on Congress whose impeachment articles of impeachment they will agree or they will follow. It may even be a correlative or a combined articles of impeachment, consolidated articles of impeachment.
Sorry, follow up. Hindi ba ito buwelta dun sa, kasi kailan lang, pinail ng impeachment complaint ito si Presidente Duterte, pagkatapos suddenly ilang araw lang, meron ng pronouncement na magpapile din ng impeachment complaint laban kay BP. Hindi naman ito buwelta kay BP Lenny dahil sinasabi baka may kinalaman daw sa impeachment complaint laban kay Presidente Duterte.
Hindi naman kami mga mercenaries sa mga gang na bumibuelta at bumirespa. Hindi po kami ganon. If they file a case against President Duterte impeachment, then so be it. Hindi naman kami we are not defending President Duterte in the impeachment case. But what we are trying to say is that, well, it might be that the timing is not perfect, the timing is not good. But at the end of the day, we have a reason to file an impeachment complaint against Lenny Robredo, and that's it. It's not buwelta because, well, kung buwelta lang, may mas masagwang buwelta dyan kaysa impeachment.
Siguro para alam nyo lang yung history o kasaysayan ng impeachment complaint. Hindi po namin alam nung ako'y nag-post sa social media, hindi ko alam na nagpa-file ng impeachment complaint si Congressman Alejano. Ang aking panawagan nagsimula after ko ma-interview para ilinaw kung ano palit ulo sa gana ng ating kapulisan ng karambola sa DWIZ. After ko ma-interview, sinabi nila online na yung YouTube ni VP Robredo. Doon ko nakita na tatawa-tawa pa siya habang nagsasalita siya ng mga hindi klaro at hindi veripikadong datos dito sa ating bansa. Pagkatapos nun, doon ako nagbanggit o nagpatawag na siya i-impeach for betrayal of public trust. And there's a basis. The basis is what they have been doing systematically has created economic sabotage to our country. And hindi na natin dapat palampasinan. There's a world economic problem. We are doing our best to overcome that world economic problem. And these things that the Vice President has been saying in the international community has already taken its toll. The $434 million na hindi binigay sa atin, 20 billion ho yan. if you look at it in the economic perspective, wala siyang dent sa ating financing sources, sa ating bayan. But 20 billion is 20 billion. Laman, kumbaga laman tiyan din yan. At banggit ko nga dyan, bilang isang ekonomista, pag yan ginamit ng tama para sa ating anti-poverty programs, it can bring down poverty incidence by 1.5 to 2%. Yan ang mawawala sa atin dahil hindi natin yun nakuha. Not to mention that we have now a potential economic relationship with EU at malinaw yan, binanggit nila ilang beses na yung abrogation of the 27 trade agreements, the suspension of our exports, duty-free exports to Europe, at yun nga, itong turismo, lumabas na po ang mabigat na issue, the new backbone of the Philippine economy is in tourism. At kung tayo ay mamproblema sa pagdadala ng mga foreign vacationers sa ating bansa, magkakaproblema yung maraming bayan-bayan natin na umaasa sa turismo bilang pamumuhay nila.
Sir, Joyce Ines po, CNN Philippines. Maliban sa video sent to the United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs, meron pa po bang ibang incidences na nag-commit ng culpable violation of the Constitution and betrayal of public trust and vice versa?
Okay, of course, maraming instances. Number one, if you notice before there was a statement by Lenny Robredo saying that if the murders does not continue, does not stop, she will encourage people from the outside to intervene and to come inside within the Philippines. Technically, guys, that is what you call intervention, encouraging intervention. And she took an oath as Vice President to protect the Constitution and the duly constituted authorities because of the made by the Constitution. So if you encourage people from the outside, meaning you encourage people to interfere with our political matters, that is basically an act that is treason in peacetime. But because there's no war, it's not treason. But still, she took an oath to protect the Philippines. She took an oath to protect the Constitution. And why would she encourage this? Even by well, let's face it. Bilang isang kami, pag pumunta kami sa abroad, magsasalita kami tungkol sa patayan, tungkol sa ganon, people will say, okay, that might be true or false because we do not have a position to give us credibility. Why? I'm just a lawyer, we are just lawyers, so they will say, okay, maybe ito lang yung mga nabibwisit sa ganito, ganyan. But if the Vice President goes to some international organization or some international forum with people also in government saying things, saying unequivocal things about extrajudicial killings, about being in darkness, about being controlled by a madman, then technically people will take that statement hook, line, and sinker because she has the seal of the Vice Presidency in her back.
Okay.
And that is the problem. Why? Because for outsiders who do not know the real story in the Philippines, they will say, oh, perhaps that might be true. Why? Because the second highest person in the land is trying to tell us this. Now, I tell you, are these statements, are these numbers being supported by evidence? Well, technically, if you look at it from a point of view of statistics, it's not. It's actually a distorted number. It's actually a skewed number. So, and as Vice President, she cannot put us to the dogs. Hindi natin pwedeng ilagay sa basura. And that's the problem. That's the reason why all of us are angry, not because we are pro-Duterte supporters. Of course, we are supporters of the Constitution. We are Filipinos. We get hurt. And if our Vice President is doing that to the Philippines on the guise that she is our Vice President, then perhaps there's something wrong with the system.
In addition to the two, we are looking at the possibility of defective statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth. We are not yet final on that. We are still looking into it. She filed to correct Salin, if she declared all her properties in the Salin, or if her assets have been declared in the right way. So that's an angle that we're looking into, because remember, we have impeached the Chief Justice before on that basis. So even if we know that in impeachment proceedings there is no precedent, stare decisis doesn't operate. But my lawyer friends would tell me that, but we already have, at least in the history, we've impeached a sitting Chief Justice because of Salin. So that's one possibility. And it is a culpable violation of the Constitution.
Sir, si G po DWIC. So sino pong principal niyo? Sino po mag-funding nito para mag-roll po yung impeachment?
Walang funding sa amin at this point. Kami ay, well, pag nag-meeting kami, kanya-kanya kaming bayad. Kasi if you notice, this is the popular misconception that we are funded by anyone. We are not funded by anyone. We are doing this we have our own careers at hand. We can afford a little bit of comfort and luxury.
So wala po kayong principal. Sabi niyo kanina parang supporter ko kayo ni Duterte. Para bangitin ng
It doesn't make us a principal. It doesn't make Duterte our principal. We support him. That's a common goal. But that is not for... ibig ba sabihin, pag 5 kami lahat, Duterte supporter, si Duterte na ang aming backer. Hindi po totoo yan. Parang pang LP ata yung dialogue na yan.
Lalagyan ng mali siya eh. Reporter ho.
Excuse me, wait, hold on. Out of order. Sorry, sir, you're out of order. There's a question.
Anyway.
Hold on, sir.
But we are also answering you.
Hindi ka kaya press eh. Hindi ka press kung basta.
Diba? So we're also just
Sir,
answering it.
please stand down. Stand down.
malinis yung tanong, boss.
Malinis din ang sagot namin.
It's alright.
Walang motive tsaka walang agenda.
Hindi namin kayo tinatamaan. Hindi namin kayo tinatamaan.
Alright, alright.
Huwag kayong ma-hurt.
Henceforth, please, questions will pass to me. Okay, please call my name so that I can acknowledge you. Alright,
Can I say
alright.
something lang? Can I say something
Hold on.
lang? Okay. As to the question if President of the government is our principal, I will categorically say no. Because I myself, during the campaign, I contributed to his campaign. Ako pa nagbigay ng pera. Hindi ako yung binigyan. And up to now, it's still the same setup. I am giving now my time for this. So that's to answer your question.
Categorically, none of us here can prove we're agents of the president. Thank you. Yes, no, actually that is an important question. So thank you very much for that. Sir, blue shirt. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kanina pa kami nagtatanong ng mga kasama ko reporter. Anong grupo yung pwede namin tawag sa inyo?
Right now, all we do is call ourselves the VP Robredo impeachment team.
Wala kaming name. Honestly. Wala kaming name. Hindi kami boy band na may name, but we don't have a name.
Sino po yung
Sir.
nag-initiate?
Yes, ma'am?
Sino po ang nag-initiate ng grupo? Sino po yung pinaka-leader kung may matatawag?
Actually, if you notice, we're all social media bloggers. If you know our group, meron po kaming nagkikita-kita po kami on a regular basis. So, announced to many, marami sa amin lawyers. Ito, si Attorney Trixie lawyer, ako lawyer, si Attorney Tom lawyer, si Professor almost lawyer kasi talagang he knows the law. He is a professor in the academe. So, nag-uusap-usap kami and then it came to a point that talagang hindi na namin talaga kaya. So, somebody said, why don't we file a way to impeach her? Or why is this impeachable? So we decided, it was just a group effort and then later on, may mga kumausap na sa amin, ng mga ibang tao, giving support. And that's the reason why it gave us enough energy and enough motivation to do this.
Sir, that decision came about when? After po ba ng video lumabas?
Actually, after the video na 45 siya. But even before that, yung mga ginagawa niya, medyo naaano na kami. Nagsasabi na kami, di ba impeachable yan? Di ba ganun yan? Nag-uusap kami, Panyero Tom at Panyero Trixie. Over lunch or coffee. Parang, hindi ba dapat i-impeach na ito? Parang, huwag muna kasi mahirap naman.
Sir, ano instances po yun? Na even before na sinasabi niyo pong posibleng?
So sobrang dami din yung maalala. Oo, hindi naman to hindi naman to yung bagay na sinusulat namin sa aming journal, hindi ko ganito to. Yung mga meeting lang to once in a while na nakikita kami, we do it regularly, almost a week. Once a week or once every 2 weeks, nakikita-kita kami. And we do that because we have been attacked. We have been attacked in social media. Marami kasing instances na we are being trolled, attacked by people. So yun po yung situation. Kaya kami nag-uusap-usap. It's not because that we want mutual assistance, because kami po ay ina-attack sa social media. So we seek each other's comfort. Parang misery loves company po ang tawag namin dyan.
Social support group.
Meron na po bang congressman na willing mag-endorse po o mag-sponsor ng impeachment complaint?
Meron, pero hindi namin pwedeng masabi pa kasi we don't want to preempt. Kasi baka naman magbago isip niya. Di ba? Hindi natin alam. Because of course, hindi namin, kasi ito honestly, if the president, we kind of expect that he will stay away from this. But of course, we don't know the minds of the people kasi kami, we have different minds. Though we support the president cannot tell us what to do because we're people.
Attorney, what is your comment doon naman po sa ibang sinasabi ng mga kababayan natin that because of impeachment complaint, we are dividing the nation? What is your comment or reaction on this?
Our nation has already been divided for crying out loud. But of course, we have to be honest, but we have to be very careful with saying the word division. Because division actually says it's 50-50. Yun ang division eh. Pag sinabi mo 70-30 or even 80-20, that's not a division, that's called democracy. So when you say division, make sure that you have the facts to say it's division. Because if you say division, it's actually like, for example, 53-47, 48-52, yun po, division yun. Naghati ang bansa. Pero wala naman tayo nakikitang social weather station survey yung nagsasabi na the nation is divided in the middle. In fact, almost every, the last social weather station, SWS and Pulse Asia survey said that the president has overwhelming support of the Filipino people. So it's not a division, it's just that a few noisy ones want to make noise and they have the power to do so. Our country is not divided, sir. It's democracy.
At saka dagdag lang bilang isang political scientist, gusto kong ipabot sa ating lahat na ang isang demokrasya laging divided. Laking hati yan. Maghanap ka ng isang demokrasya na hindi divided, papuputol po ulo ko.
Komunista na yun, di ba?
Kasi, ang ibig sabihin mo, meron ng monolith, meron ng isang boses, ay ang beauty ng demokrasya, naghahati-hati tayo. But at the end of the day, it should be the rule of law, it should be the rule of the majority, and this is precisely what is hurting us. That a voice of a minority is the one that undermines that democracy. Diba? Kayo ang dapat nating i-address. At meron naman tayong proseso. Kung talaga nakakasama sa demokrasya itong proseso ng impeachment, ba't nakasulat ito sa konstitusyon? This is available to us. This is one way of removing an impeachable official. So kung ito masama, bakit sana isumulat ito dito? Available dito sa atin as a recourse. Para tanggalin ang isang opisyal na nakikita natin nagkakanunuga ng pagtitiwala ng bayan.
Attorney. Wait, hold on. Dion, pakidistribute yung statement. Yes. Si Dion.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ulitin ko lang po yung clarification ko. Kasi kanina nga, tinanong na ito kanina, may panawagan si Presidente na huwag na itigil na yung plan ng impeachment para dito kay... So, kahit ba kausapin kayo personal or kahit alam naman natin na kayo ay supporters ni President Duterte, hindi nyo ba makikinggan yung pakiusap nyo yun ng Pangulong Duterte?
Of course, I can speak only for myself kasi iba-iba kami ng utak lahat hindi naman kami ng isang utak lang. For me personally, I would look into what we can get kasi this is a 2 to 3 week case building process. So at the end of the day, pag tinabi namin na ka-impeach, we will not, even if President Duterte will say, tigilan na natin to, we cannot just simply turn our heads and say, tigilan na natin to because our president said it. We are followers, but we are not blind followers. Meaning, if we see fit that Leni Robredo should be impeached, even against the will of the president, then what can we do? We are Filipinos. We are not Duterte supporters only. We are Filipinos.
Sir, ilan na po yung mga kongresista na nagsabi na i-endorse nila? Kung hindi po pwede pangalan pa, kahit numero na lang po.
Siguro Si Speaker Alvarez has already mentioned that as long as he is able to review, no, review the impeachment complaint, pag nakikita niya na there is sufficient form and substance, he has already mentioned that he will endorse it in the committee. Meron ho kami kinakausap, yun siguro hindi ko po na ma-disclose. The only thing I can disclose is, as mentioned by Speaker Alvarez, which we have not communicated directly yet, no? We will show it to him, and if he feels that it is sufficient in form and substance, then he will endorse it. You cannot make an impeachment complaint in 2 days. It has to have a certain number of days to create a case built up. So ito yung prosesong ginagawa natin after the lawyers have seen that there is really a clear impeachable offense, betrayal of public trust. Nakikita pa nila na meron pa palang iba. So we have at least 2 to 3 weeks to do the case build up, and after which, if the complaint is already written or drafted, we will now meet with Speaker Alvarez and we'll show it to him if he wants to endorse it.
Gaano po kayo ang kumpiyansa na maaprubahan siya sa Kamara, considering na may mga statements ng mga Presidente na ayaw niya yung
Kahit naman anong gawin namin, wala naman talaga kaming kumpiyansa sa ganung bagay. This is a leap of faith. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa inyo, kami, lahat, we are staking our credibility, we're staking our names, we're staking everything here, but there is no assurance because if you notice, the President has already said, well, he's not going to support it. So if you would make it appear that this is politically motivated, it's not. So what we are doing here is out of our duty to support, our duty to the Filipinos, because we feel that we have been maligned for a long time. Ako personally, I've been out of the country for many times. Maraming mga tanong ano nangyayari sa inyo? They feel na may mga tao, they literally felt that dead people are in the streets, that we are in a state of despotism, that we are in a state wherein all of us are fearing for our lives. That is the impact that we're getting from the foreigners outside. And as a Filipino, nasasaktan ako kasi hindi naman totoo. That's it. That's why we are doing this. All of us. We have been traveling all over the world at a certain point, and we get the same exact concern. Doon kami nasasaktan.
Balikan ko lang yung tanong tungkol dun sa kung anong reaksyon ko dahil ayaw ng Presidente. Let me just put it on record that I do not serve the President. Hindi niya ako sweldohan, hindi ako binabayaran ng Presidente. I'm not in his payroll, I don't serve him. So, kahit anong sabihin niya, kung patibigin niyo man ako, kung nakikita ko pa rin na dapat gawin ko. Okay, we are all independent here. In fact, even if on the overall sinusuporta namin ng Presidente, pero may kanya-kanya kami mga disagreements sa kanya. Kung personally, for example, I'm an anti-death penalty. Okay? Ayoko kay Gina Lopez. Diba? So, may kanya-kanya yung pagkita dyan. So, hindi pwedeng sabihin isa lang hilat siya ang binuha namin dito.
In addition to that, no, if you're saying that, okay, let's just clarify. Personally, okay, from my point of view, ano sinasabi ni Presidente? Lahat tayo trabahante lang sa gobyerno. Okay? When he presented himself as a candidate, he was applying for a job. Sa akin, yun lang ang tingin ko dyan. He was applying for a job. Same with Grace Po, Mar Rojas, Jojo Pinay, all of them were applying for a job through my vote. And when I voted for him and I decided to contribute, a small amount to his campaign to help him, I was hiring him. Okay? Let's make that clear. Okay? I hired him to be my worker, not the other way around.
Sir. Nauna po siya.
A question po to Attorney Trixie. Ma'am, kayo po ay dating abogado ng Magdalo. So how would you respond or comment on those?
I will correct that. I was never the lawyer for Magdalo. I was the lawyer for Captain Sendon and 3 other Marine officers who, by the way, were all acquitted.
Ang comment
So, I never was nor ever have been the lawyer for Magdalo.
Ma'am, pero comment na lang din dun sa final impeachment complaint naman ng Magdalo from Alejandro.
Okay, Congressman Alejandro is free to file an impeachment complaint the same way that we are. We've had a look at the impeachment complaint that we filed, and I understand that they filed a supplementary complaint. They need to file a supplementary complaint. That is the only comment. Okay, next. Sir, yes, sir.
I'm Ben Rosario.
Sorry, sir.
I'm Ben Rosario from Ibabulit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry to
Pag-sigod sa professor. Kasi kayo ni political analyst. Pero yung issue naman dito is how will you be able to raise the one to support the impeachment complaint when the president himself, who is actually the head of the party or the political group sa house, ayaw niya.
Alam mo, para sa akin, ako lang, hindi ko iniisip yan. Iniisip ko lang gawin ito, and then let us see. Kasi, kung ang isipin namin na wala tayong number, kasi alam ko naman, game of numbers ito bilang ito. Pero kung nakakikita kami na mali ito, dapat ipaglaban at hindi lang tayo maglalaban dahil ngayon, alam natin kulang tayo sa bilang, ayaw pa ng Pangulo, ay di palagi na lang tayong ganun, palagi na tayong matatakot. The reason why we are making this with the people, tingnan nyo ngayon, hindi pa kami nagpa-file, pero andito na kami, humingi kami ng dagdag na tulong, dagdag na puwersa, because we want this to be an impeachment complaint by the people against the sitting Vice President. And let us take it from that. But right now, hindi ko iniisip yun kung kulang ba ang 1/3, yung 98 na yun, 100 na members of the House of Representatives. Pero, correction lang, sir. I think it is also wrong to assume that just because the President would say no, that automatically the House of Representatives will also say no. There's a big chance, but you have to also understand, may mga kunyari, ito na lang sa death penalty, alam naman natin, mas gusto ng Presidente, mas extreme ang boto, pero tingnan mo, hindi naman nasunod yung gusto niya. Di ba? Although, compromise, pero hindi naman nasunod.
Well, can I add something? We have to understand that we are governed by the three branches of government. Each are independent in itself. The judiciary, the executive, and the legislative. Yung legislative, hindi naman kontrolado ni Presidente yan. In fact, kaya nga siya nagsusona every year dahil pinapaalam niya sa legislative na ito yung aking agenda as President to help him because he will only execute. So technically, this is a challenge on the House of Representatives and on the Senate to make do their role as the voice of the people. So this is not, even if the President will say we are not supporting this, I will not support this, or I am not behind it. At the end of the day, it will be down to what? It will be down to the House of Representatives hearing its constituency and acting on it. Yun po yun. Hindi po yun yung dahil sinabi ng Presidente. Kasi kung sinasabi mo, pag sinabi ng Presidente, ayaw natin, pinapalabas natin ng mga fanatics tayo. O kaya mga wala tayong isip. Ang mga congressman, mga congressman ay para mga minions lang. Hindi po sila ganon. So, marami pong instances na ganyan na nangyayari. So, I hope that we separate the presidency from the impeachment because it's not his role. It's not his duty, and I would think that it would be bad if he would, dip his finger on it.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. I'm Camilo Melendez of KITV Philippines. I saw the interview of the president this morning, and I view it as the first act of the president as a statesman, because he gave a very good answer that we are a working democracy. Now, I expect that your move will go smoothly at the lower house. How do you foresee? Will there be rough sailing when you reach the Senate?
Well, let's put it this way. Mapanalangin din po kami. Kaya in as much as possible, we are praying that it will be a good Senate, a good impeachment court that will handle it, open-minded, impartial, and of course, God-fearing. So we're asking the CBCB to help us pray. Yun po yung manalangin na masilayan yung ating mga senador.
I'll add to that. As to your question, sir, no, how do we see it, whether it's going to be rough sailing in the Senate or the House? I will speak for myself. I cannot say. But I will definitely tell you there will be two outcomes. Either we win or we lose. Ganon lang yun. And whatever happens, we're okay with that.
Last na lang. Ito kasi sa aming impeachment, hindi namin ito sinasabi na gusto namin mapatalsik talaga. Alam mo yung, hindi namin, like, it's not our, hindi namin ambition in life na ipatalsik. Hindi kami namin personal. Of course, if we lose the fight, it's still a victory for us. Why? Because it only proves to show that democracy is working. Yun lang po. Do not say na ito mga mercenary, ito mga halaang kaluluwa nito mga tao. Ito hindi. Kami po, we're just testing democracy if actually there is democracy working, because that is the argument of the other side towards the outside world. That we have no democracy, that we are killing the drug suspects, that we are killing even people who are not even drug addicts or drug supporters or drug pushers. So we want to tell the world that, hey, there is a democracy in the Philippines, and we are proof of it. We are trying to push the buttons of democracy, and here we are.
Yes, sir.
Sir, although sabi ni Digong red light siya sa impeachment, pero would you encourage him na supportahan kayo?
No.
Bakit po hindi?
We don't need him. Honestly. In this honestly, we don't need him. We want the president to do his job. We want him to work. We want him to go around the Philippines, encouraging Filipinos to be Filipinos. We want him to go around the world to encourage, to promote investments. We need him to do his job. We don't want him to be worried about Lenny talking about this, people talking about that, people talking behind his back, people trying to destabilize him. We don't need him to worry about that, because we need him more as our president for every Filipino, not just for the Duterte supporters, but for every Filipino.
Sa mga senators po natin, sino kaya pinakwalified na pwede kapalit ni Lenny? Tingin ko lang.
Ayaw namin, una sa lahat, ayaw namin mag-ano, kasi baka may sabi na si Trillanes, mahirap na, di ba? So, ang akin lang is, we will cross the bridge when we get there, but at the end of the day, we just want democracy working. That's it. Yes, proseso yan.
Yes, to the two lawyers, at
Three
the
kami.
moment po, three.
Four.
Sumagot. Yung at present po ba, parang yung pinaka-basis po ay yung speech or yung message ni VP sa UN?
Hindi siya yung basis, siya yung nag-udyok, siya yung
Trigger.
siya yung nag-push ng buttons bakit kami na ganito, but it's not it. It's
Ano po ang basis din?
it's a conglomeration of everything. Kasi you cannot just, ito yan you cannot just impeach somebody on one act. Hindi po pwede yan. Yung kay ERAP na ilala niyo dati, it was the white envelope or envelope, it was an envelope, but the envelope didn't say anything. It just, triggered something. So, the speech was the trigger. Ito yung nag-udyok sa amin na teka muna. Yung gano'n. Ito yung nag-create sa amin na napainom kami ng pampakalma. Kasi ngayon yung nanginginig kami sa inis. But for the past months, before after she assumed office, there are so many things that well, it's too many to mention. It's a conglomeration of things that, well, we just have to wait and see how we present it.
Hindi pwedeng magsabi ka lang kahit ilan lang na basis para maipaliwanag din sa publiko. Ano magiging basis?
I don't want her to explain it. I just want her to she does not owe us an explanation at this point. We just want to finish the articles of impeachment, place it in the proper venue, and then perhaps maybe allow her to explain it there. Kasi mahirap, because I cannot trust her explaining to the public at this point with her propensity for distortions and for half-truths and slanted truths. Hindi ko po, I don't want her to be doing that. I want her to be doing the explanation in the proper form.
Attorney, does it mean that the video message is not enough basis for the filing of it?
I cannot say, because of course, maraming nagsasabi na wala naman daw, sabi nga ng iba, betrayal of public trust daw. There is no crime committed. You do not need to commit a crime to betray your public trust. That's it. Maraming nagsasabi ng ganun. So, there will be so many opinions later on. Ako, I'm simply saying na, well, their opinions might be valid because they are also lawyers or learned scholars. But at the end of the day, this is a political exercise. This is not a court case. This is not a criminal case. It's not a civil case. This is a political case. So it will redound to what? It will redound to how the Congress acting how the people acting through its representatives would deal with it. So, yun po yung aming basis bakit kami nag-file ng case.
Yes, sir.
Another question. Yung group's political or legal move will necessarily require popular support. Because
Please define popular support.
popular support meaning to say the people will be behind you. Now, do you have any plans how to mobilize the people so that it will clearly show that the people are with you in this move to oust the Vice President?
Well, we already said, sir, that, we don't care if the president is with us or not.
Single support.
Okay? They're free to support. We will respect that. We already said we don't care whether the president supports us or not. We don't care whether the people support us or not. Remember, we are invoking a constitutional process. Regardless of whether people agree with it or not, we will follow and we will obey the majesty of the law.
Don't you have plans to mobilize the people to...
Of course, we have plan.
Busy na kami. Wala na kami oras din.
Ako hindi pa masyadong busy. So, I have to be honest. We differ in that regard. No? Ako kasi, I believe that the people's voice should also be heard. That's the reason why on April 2, meron po kaming palit bise sa Luneta. I will be there. I am also spearheading the event. Kaya malamang ako yung target ngayon ng lahat ng kalaban. So, here I am. Okay. The April 2 event will be headed by, of course, Mocha and myself and Jimmy. And we are asking the people to show indignation towards the actions of our Vice President. This is the first time we will actually be impeaching a Vice President. Yung parang magtataka yung iba, bakit yung busy, wala pa naman sa posisyon. Yun nga yung bago dito. Na bakit natin i-impeach ang hindi pa naging presidente? Why? Because she's doing something ruinous to our country. So, come April 2, meron po kaming event, meron po kaming indignation, people's rally. Wala pong politiko doon, kami-kami lang po, tayo pong mga Pilipino andon, magkakaisa tayo. We will, this is not even a celebration because there's nothing to celebrate at this point. We are destroyed in the international community. Our Vice President, sitting Vice President, single-handedly destroyed our reputation. So we are there to show indignation. So we need people's support. And we need also people to support us, lawyers, and those who are learned, and those who has information. To, please do come out. Well, at your own risk, of course. We cannot secure your safety kasi kami din, hindi namin alam paano i-secure yung sarili namin. But we want to make sure that this pushes through because democracy is really working in the Philippines and we want to show the world that it is working.
Information lang po, measure ng support, nag-put up po ng parang funding yung sa Luneta. Wala palit-bise. Sa mechanism na nag-solicit ng funds online all over the world. Wala pang 2 araw o 3 araw, nagkaroon na kaagad ng 1.6 million. Halos 2 million na ngayon.
Despite being hacked
several times
regularly.
So that means that there is a widespread support. And if you read FB, social media, Twitter, na kung saan halos doon na yata ako nakatira, kaya nagagalit ang asawa.
Ako din.
Makikita mo doon, grabe ang sentimiento, and I see people who used to support Mrs. Robredo is now changing their minds. So, there is a groundswell. We don't know how much, we don't know the numbers. The only number we can cite is that in order for you to generate more than about close to 2 million in less than a week is already enough to tell you that there is support behind this.
One more question, please. Are you supportive of filing a case to disbar the Vice President?
We will cross the bridge when we get there, but it did cross our mind. Pero as lawyers kasi, ako personally, parang tatanggalin mo pa ng labada yung, di ba, tatanggalin mo ng posisyon, tatanggalin mo pa ng labada. Masakit yun. So, ako, I will, technically kami, speaking as lawyers, medyo, no offense, pero ako kasi, parang masakit na yun eh, yung tanggalan mo na ng,
Overkill na.
at pinaghirapan niya, ilang beses siyang kumuha ng bar, so, nakakatawa ba yun?
Personally, ako also I agree, no? I mean, you know, there is life after politics.
Yes.
You know, our officials have to understand this, eh.
Oo.
Diba? You know, kaya kapit tuko kayong lahat dyan kasi ginagawa niyong hanap buhay. Tsaka, diba? Tapos na yan, okay? We are serving notice now. Business as usual is over. Diba? You can work hard and earn good money outside. It's not who you know, it's what you know.
Tsaka yung impeachment process, kasi pag na-impeach ka, hindi ka na pwede magsilbi sa gobyerno forever. So kung tatanggal mo pa siya ng kanyang profesyon ng pagiging abogado, parang inalisan mo na siya ng kinabukasan. Ako personally, ang tinitingnan ko kay Lenny dito yung ginawa niya bilang basic pangulo. Hindi ko siya inaalisan ng kinabukasan bilang isang tao. So yun lamang, so hindi ko susuportahan ang tanggalan siya ng kabuhayan. Although I'm sure marami siyang pera.
At I'm sure na kami, i-disbar na kami.
I'm sure na sa mga nakikita namin mga datos, hindi siya mauubusan ng pera. Pero huwag na rin natin tanggalan yun. Ando na, sa kanya na yun. Pinaghirapan niya yun, sabi nga ni Bruce. So ako supported ko yung yung impeachment, pero yung kaso na para ma-disbar siya, hindi na. Tama na yun.
Marami pong nakakbera sa local.
Pakibigyan ng mic.
Sige, okay lang, malakas naman ang boses ko. Good morning. Bilang kayo po ay mga abogadong may puso, maaari po bang bigyan nyo, paliwanagan nyo po ang ating Pangulo kung ano ba ang pinag-iba o ang magiging implikasyon kung siya po ay mag-resign na lamang as against ma-impeach. Kasi ang pangalawang Pangulo. Although alam nating lahat na abogado rin ang ating pangalawang Pangulong si Mrs. Robredo, pero baka po hindi niya alam ang difference ng mag-resign siya at mag-impeach tulad nga ng nasabi ni Professor Contreras na pag na-impeach ka ay hindi ka na pwedeng bumalik pa or mag-run pa for any political position. So, bigyan nyo nga po ng advice ang ating pangalawang Pangulo at ipaliwanag din sa taong bayan kung ano ang pinag-iba o ano magiging consequence pag siya po ay nag-resign na lang o ma-impeach sa taong bayan.
Ito kasi yan, wala akong boses. Hello? Ayan, ito na. Mahirap po kasi mag-advise kay Lenny kasi hindi naman siya nakikinig kahit nga siguro kay Jessie na nagsasabi na siguro sa kanyang tulog. So, maybe to tell her na mag-resign, of course, that would be a stretch kasi alam natin that people are behind her. Marami din pangkabuhayan showcase na alam mo yun, maraming tao sa likod niya who wants her to be there. Kasi marami silang inaasa doon. So, they would never advise her, ma'am, umalis na lang tayo. Hindi po ganun yun. So I would not be presumptuous to say na I would be advising her. Kaya namin pinapa-impeach kasi kung kaya lang namin in-advise na namin. Diba? Of course, yung resign, madali. Why? Because if you resign, you can actually come back. President Erap did that and now he is mayor of Manila. So,
Don't give her free advice anymore.
oo. And of course, if you resign, you can still go back to the good graces of the people. Kasi nga, tayo mga Pilipino, aside sa magaling tayo mag-amnesia, madali tayong makalimot, madali din tayong magpatawad. Salamat sa CPCP na nagbibigay sa atin ng mapagpatawad na puso, di ba? So yun po. But of course, when you are impeached, marami pong mangyari yan. That's why kami, in as much as possible, naawa kami kay CJ Puno, na-impeach din. Because
Si
kasi-
Jay Corona.
Si Jay Corona. Si Jay Corona na in-impeach nila. Well, of course, I have personal feelings about that. But it's not nice to impeach somebody. Yan ang totoo. But because it's a democratic process and it needs to be done, we have to do it. This is a dirty job, a very dirty job. And I've done dirtier jobs in the past, but this is the dirtiest for me. So, but we have to do it because this is how democracy works. And it is for the Filipino people, that's why we're doing it.
So attorney, in conclusion, ibig sabihin, mas makabubuti para sa kanya ang mag-resign na lang. Para magkaroon pa siya ng hanap buhay or opportunity na makabalik sa lingkod sa public service. Tama po ba?
Sa atin, nakakabubuti. Pero hindi natin alam sa kanya, sa mga kalamay, sa umaasa sa kanya, hindi yun maganda. Siyempre, but of course, siguro, I can see this for myself and for the people who are watching her self-destruct or self-destroy the Filipino people and reputation. Of course, we want her to resign, but we know she will never resign. You know, that's the beauty of opposition. They want to hold on to it until kingdom come. So yun.
Ako naman, I disagree that we should let her resign. Kasi this is a constitutional process. Let her face the music and explain to the people. Mga ginawa niya, naka-apekto sa ating bansa. So, obligasyon yung ipaliwanag. Nasasakdal siya ngayon, masasakdal siya. Dapat ipaliwanag niya sa atin. Kung tama yung paliwanag niya, di mananalo siya. Ngayon pumali, hindi siya tatanggapin ng tao. Parte yun para maglinaw. Kasi sabi nga ng kasamahan ko, ako naman handang matalo. Kung dapat matalo kami. Pero kasi pag mag-resign ka, parang it's parang an
easy way out.
Easy way out. Parang meron kang gustong tanggalin na empleyado, tapos magdugulo lang lahat. Sige nga, bigyan mo na lang ng graceful exit. Walang closure, hindi lumabas ang truth. Yung basihan natin sa demokrasya is informasyon, katotohanan, maraming mga kwento, naglalabasan, pati yung we are collective. Di ba, naglalabasan yung mga ganyan klase ng kwento. Siguro dapat ay mabigyan ng forum para malinawan tayo sa mga ganitong klase ng usapin. At sa tingin ko naman, kung ako si Mrs. Robredo, haharapin ko to, maganda itong opportunity to, marami siyang pera, ang gagaling ng mga abogado siguro niya, para mag-depensa niya sarili niya, pagbigyan yung proseso. I think asking her to resign is just a very quick, easy way out. That will not serve the interest of democracy.
So, Prof, what about if she issues a public apology and recant all her statements sa international community?
Will she do it?
If she does, ano po ang magiging implikasyon nito sa...
Hindi mabuti.
That's even worse. She just admitted that she's lying.
Oo. Lalabas ang katotohanan, hindi totoo yung sinasabi niya. Diba?
Parang I am sorry, ganon. Hindi ko kailangan na natin.
Pero hindi lalambot ang mga puso natin.
At sasagutin kita dyan, MJ, tanong sa akin yan ilang beses. Ako, as long as she says sorry, she admits that she made a statement unverified, uncorroborated, at sasabihin niya sa European Union na nagkamali siya, bawiin yung mga threat sa ating bayan. Kasi ang punto ko dito is really paangatin yung buhay ng ating kababayan. At yung mga negosyo na yun, napaka-importante sa atin, yung mga economic commitments. I-recommend ko sa kanila na i-atras ang impeachment complaint. But that's a recommendation I will make if she does that.
She recants herself. Other questions? Yes, Ms.
No, well, sa isang banda kasi, syempre may kaisipan din naman, na just telling what you already know, and that
What do you know?
That indeed there were a lot of healings, di ba po, when the administration started. So, anong palagay niyo doon? Ibig ko sabihin, yung kaisipan po na gano'n, ng iba, na pinapaniwalaan ng iba, ay maaring ang pananaw nila bino-voice out lang din naman niya kung ano yung nangyayari.
Okay, this is my take on that. Yung sinasabi nilang 7,000 extrajudicial killings, those are sweeping words and generalizations that if you look at it from the PNP point of view, it's farthest from the truth. Kasi marami doon, kasi ito I'm going to give an example. the definition of extrajudicial killing by itself is not properly defined under Philippine laws nor international laws. Under the UN Convention on Crimes, ito po yung sinasabi mong intentional killings. Intentional killings, for crying out loud, is even higher in 2014 and 2013 compared to present. 2016 and 2014 are higher than in the present. So, intentional killings yun, meaning murder, etc. Yung extrajudicial killing, baka namatay din sa sakit ng ngipin at binunggo yung ulo niya. And it covers everything, pati yung nasagasaan, pati yung nasaksak dahil nag-away sa syota, pati yung nagpatay dahil sa Dota. Yun, kasama yun. Yun yung problem doon. So to tell, sabihin mo na what we already know means that, teka, why do you know these things? It's because somebody is spreading it. And it's not us.
Let me add to that, okay? I'll tell you a story, okay? About 2 weeks ago, I was representing a client in Mandaluyong, okay? Criminal cases. You know, ang dami-daming kaso doon. Alam mo yung mga kaso ng mga nasasaktal doon? Riding in tandem ordinance. Apparently, the city of Mandaluyong has an ordinance banning riding in tandem. Pag hindi nyo kamag-anak or hindi pwede. If I'm not mistaken, it's ordinance number 656 series of 2015. Why? Why was the ordinance enacted? Because ang daming patayan ng riding in tandem. Why did we not consider that extrajudicial killing during the time of the past administration? There was an ordinance, and LGU right here in Metro Manila did something about it because it was so prevalent.
Sandra, ilang lang tugod lang doon sa tanong mo na yung alam na natin, mapanganib na statement yun. Kasi ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng alam na natin? Popular knowledge lang. Ibig sabihin pinag-uusapan lang. Pero yung mga issue kasi niya ng krimen, statistics, masalimuot yan at maselang impormasyon. Nag-make ang ating DC Pangulo ng mga claims na maaring hindi pa verified. Kunyari yung kanyang sinabing palit ulo, yun ay dapat i-verify muna. Hindi siya ordinaryong mamamayan para magsasalita sa labas ng bansa at sasabihin sa mga tao, sa EU, sa UN, na ganitong nangyayari. Abay, kung ordinaryong chismosa ang magsasabi doon, walang problema. Vice Presidente ka, nagsalita ka pa sa likuran mo ang bandila ng Pilipinas, pati ang seal ng opisina mo. It has the imprint of an official statement. Doon lumalakas ang kaso kasi hindi mo pa nga-verify. Kaya yung issue na alam na natin, matagal nang alam natin, dapat natin i-unpack yun eh. In fact, if I may, no, huwag niyo akong pagalitan dito, yung 7,000 na nilalabas ngayon, alam naman natin yan ay defective. Na-question na ba yan sa media? Bakit ang media laging ginagamit yung 7,000 na yun, hindi lang ina-unpack? Ngayon kung na-question na yan, dapat therefore kayo mismo nagsasabi na hindi natin alam yun, pero yun yung alam na parang chismis lang. Di ba?
I interview, no? I interviewed General Bato. I interviewed General Bato about the 7,000. Sabi niya, paano magka 7,000 yan? Paano ganun? Eh, meron namang figures lahat yun. In fact,
attorney, ako na lang, direct from the source.
Okay,
No?
yeah.
I've been doing, yung ginagawa ng opisina ko is really getting all those data and verifying. Yung palit ulo, hindi ho yung sinasabi ni Lenny na pag ina-aresto at wala doon arestuin, papalitan ng kamag-anak. Hindi po yun. Ang konsepto ng palit ulo is arresting the small fish, but if you say something to arrest the bigger fish, we will exempt you from criminal liability. That's in the law. Republic Act 9165, Section 33 provides for it. So yan ang konsepto ng palit ulo. Pangalawa yung 7,000. For many, many months, I've been saying na hindi 7,000, hindi 5,000. Ano yun, palaki na palaki yun. Hindi 5,000, hindi 6,000, hindi 7,000. Because what we have to confirm here is how many were killed during police operations. 2,500. Yung 4,500, walang kinalaman sa drug operations yan. Binatay ng kapitbahay, Dota, away, hold up. Ang ginagawa lang nila, that's why we were saying there's bad faith. Kasi alam naman nila yun. We've been telling them all along for the last so many months na hindi yun ang data. Pero binubuo pa rin nila at sinalo ng pandaigdigan komunidad.
At kinakain ng media din. Yun lang.
Pa-clarify, sa issue po dun sa statement ni Leslie ay 7,000 and napalikulo. Tama po?
Yes.
Intervention.
Yun po yung
Among others. It's not
Dalawa na maling facts.
Dalawa lang yung
Or problematic figures.
At by the way, para lang sa inyong kaalaman, nag-research din kami. Sabi niya may 500 daw na nag-file ng CHR sa DOJ na mga paglabag, no? Paglabag sa karapatang pantao. This is not yet official, but meron na silang figure ang DOJ na binigay sa akin. 29 pa lang daw. At hindi pa nila masabi kung yung 29 na yon is within the term of President Duterte. Basta may 29 na nakafile doon galing sa CHR na mga prospective na paglabag sa karapatang pantao. So wala rin 500. Ano yung saan nila nakuha yung 500?
At ito ha, I talked to General Bato. I had a live video with him 2 days ago. Tinanong ko talaga sa kanya, General Bato, yung sinasabi ba ni Lenny Robredo na palit ulo, yung na-report niya ba sa iyo yan? O nag-report, nagtanong ba siya sa iyo kung totoo yun? She never asked General Bato about, the PNP about it. So, ano yun? Bakit ka magsasabi ng ganon sa UN, for international release, when in fact you did not even ask the chief PNP if that is the case. What is the palit ulo? Na palit ulo version niya, hindi yung palit ulo under the law. Palit ulo, hindi yan tinanong si General Bato, nor anybody in the PNP for that matter. So ano yan? Pakit lang, ganon, di ba? Yes, sir. Yes.
Gusto ko lang paliwanag, no? Yung tungkol sa extrajudicial killings. Nasabi nila, alam na natin lahat. Pero alam ba natin lahat yung extrajudicial killing na nangyayari sa Zamboanga del Norte na magkalaban ang dalawang supplier ng drugs. Yung isang supplier ay governor at ang governor pa ngayon ng Zamboanga del Norte na Liberal Party at pinapatay niya yung mga kalaban niya sa droga. Wala nag-imbestiga dito, wala nagsabi dito na alam natin lahat. Pero yan, yung mga killers nila mismo nag-testify na sa Congress na pinapatay yung kalaban nilang supplier. At ngayon, yung mga killers naman ng Liberal Party ng Governor ay pinapatay na naman niya. At mayroon pang natirang 3 na ngayon nag-testify na sa Congress. Yan ang klarong extrajudicial killings. Yan ba binanggit ni Lenny Robredo na yung Governor ng Liberal Party sa Zamboanga del Norte ay involved sa drugs?
Yes, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Finally, one last answer to your question. The Vice President mentioned about the palit ulo scheme. However, if you look at the law, this amounts to kidnapping or serious illegal detention. But no attempt has been made to file a case or to report the matter to police authorities, either for data collection or for the filing of an actual case. In effect, this does not exist. So the fact that the Vice President had used this in a speech that makes a conclusion that this is a factual matter is misleading. So that is why this is very important for us. This is the Vice President giving fake news.
Ito kasi yan eh. Pinaparatangan kaming mga social media bloggers na nagbibigay kami ng false news. Kami daw ang progenitors ng false news. This way, ngayon, sinasabi namin, teka ma'am, ikaw ata ng export ng masamang balita na hindi naman totoo. Kasi kami, we police ourselves. Teka muna, baka mapaso tayo dito. We do our, and yet we are still called progenitors of false news. But our Vice President is going around the world. Now, papunta siya South Africa. We got hold of it with Congressman Banal, with Senator Pangilinan, with people, with Abad, going to, sponsored by a German organization for human rights. And we don't know what she will be telling them there. And if they are to be believed, because she is telling us, they are telling people there about news na hindi naman natin alam kung totoo o hindi. Kasi hindi verified. So, how can we stop that? Kami na nga mismo, sinasabi kami nagbibigay ng false news, but in reality, wala namang maniniwala sa amin, sa totoo lang na international community, but they will believe her because she has the vice presidency seal in the back of her head. She has that position to make it a credible statement. Yun ang masama. Yun ang ayaw naming mangyari sa atin. Because it's not destroying President Duterte. He will end his term, whether we like it or not. But at the end of the day, it's destroying the Filipino people. It's destroying our way of life. It's destroying our livelihood. It's destroying foreign investors coming in because they're afraid that people are going to be killed in the streets. And this is destroying the poor Filipinos who would have jobs if these foreign investors came in and not being frightened away by her statements. Isipin niyo lang po, hindi po yung presidente ang magiging maano dito, nasasaktan dito. Kami pong mga maliliit na tao nasasaktan dito. Kami pong mga tao na naghanap ng trabaho, na mabibigyan sila ng trabaho, if people from the EU would invest in the Philippines. Hindi nangyayari because everybody is doing that.
Is there no further questions?
Thank you everyone. Have a nice day. Hope you treat us well. Thank you.
We reiterate, this press conference was called for the purpose of announcing our intention to file a decommission and to call for volunteers, lawyers, researchers, and people with information to help supplement what we are already drafting. The spokesman for this team is Attorney Bruce Rivera, and he can be contacted